Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1133.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about why money transfers from the impatient to the patient. And this is based on a quote from Warren Buffett. He said the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So let me say that again. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And that is so true. And we're in the middle of that next level test of patience. Because we've been through a very devastating stock market decline. We've been through rising inflation, rising gas prices, a crypto winter, a strong dollar, and weak precious metals. And that's just the financial side of what we've been through, not to mention the health side of what we've been through. But I think that people who are patient for profits with stocks and cryptocurrencies and silver today are the ones who are going to be wealthy tomorrow. Now, we know Warren Buffett is very famous for looking for undervalued assets. And one of the things that corrections like this bring, whether it's stocks or cryptocurrencies or precious metals, is a lower valuation. Now, some of the stocks had gone up like crazy during the pandemic. And many of these large companies or work-from-home companies or ones that benefited from trends during the pandemic, well, they increased dramatically in price. But this year, there were quite a few of those outliers that had gone up dramatically that also corrected very sharply. So does that mean automatically that they're undervalued? No, it doesn't. Because you have to look at what are their sales, what are their revenues, what are their net profits, or what they call EBITDA, the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Some companies, like, say, Peloton, dramatically declined in their sales. And so a lower valuation in that case is justified. And while it's not always easy to find what's undervalued, there are some things in our investment landscape that we look at that are really obviously undervalued. The most undervalued asset, in my opinion, on the planet is silver. And that's because its price has been suppressed. And this is not a theory. This is proven, and also criminal charges have been brought for traders spoofing, manipulating prices, etc. Silver is an asset that competes with paper money. And because there's a limited supply of it, it tends to hold its value. But if its real value were known, people would rather own the silver than the paper money. And with so many trillions of dollars of new paper money, or fiat currency, having been created, it makes silver even more valuable. But you don't see it in the price. Not today, you don't. Another example of undervalued assets are cryptocurrencies that aren't widely used right now, but that have tremendous utility, such as XRP, a cryptocurrency that can be used for cross-border payments. And I believe will be used quite broadly for all kinds of assets that are tokenized in the future to transfer from one asset of value for another asset of value at the speed of the internet. It has the scalability, the low fees, the low energy usage, settlement in 3 seconds or less, and Ripple itself has over 350 plus banking relationships. So it has real utility. It actually improves upon the system that we have now for banking. We all are aware how long it takes to transfer money. And many people are talking about how money has actually moved more slowly recently, how it's harder to get a hold of any cash. You literally have to call ahead and order it from your bank. And how they're not accepting coins in a lot of areas, and now businesses like Starbucks are going cashless. So this is definitely a trend that's in our future. So the blessing in disguise during a correction like this is the opportunity to accumulate undervalued assets. During a time when there is a correction like this and prices are much lower, this is the opportunity to invest in quality assets, the leaders of the future, the next Googles and Amazons, if you will. This is the time to recognize what's undervalued, what's going to be highly valued in the future, and what can you pick up for a bargain today. I notice the investments that are being made today by some of the largest venture capitalists, some of the largest tech companies, they're investing in blockchain technologies. Blockchain is a natural next step as an improvement over what we currently have. Being able to have smart contracts attached to cryptocurrencies that automate certain transactions and record them on the blockchain. These are things that we've talked about that are a huge advancement from where we are today. Not to mention being able to send money across the country at the speed of the internet and very low fees, which we really can't do today. And helping the problem of so many people not having access to banks and being what they call the unbanked, so that they can participate in a financial system that will help them become more prosperous. So while it's no fun to have corrections, they do have to be looked upon as great opportunities. Opportunities to purchase quality future investments at a significant discount. And who doesn't love bargain shopping? I like using times like this to think about the future inventions and technologies that we're going to be using. You could take, for example, the electric car and do some investigation about the electric car. You'll find out it needs lithium for batteries. It also requires silver in order to operate an electric car. And most of the electronics that we're going to be using in the future also require silver. So thinking about the potential in the future and then looking at the bargain prices that we're finding today, well, I think that's a match made in heaven. And that's really what Warren Buffett was talking about. So looking for those undervalued assets and then being patient, because the patience is the hard part. People get frustrated and they want things to move on their timeline. But that's not how investments go. They often have their own cycles and many things are interrelated. So one thing has to happen before another's going to happen. But being patient with some of the undervalued assets that we have available, or even scooping up some more at these low prices, I think is what's going to set you up for financial freedom in the future. Being able to buy an XRP at 30 cents or silver at $17 an ounce is something I think you will look back on and be amazed that it was ever that cheap. And I hope you're not kicking yourself for not purchasing more when it's this cheap, because it's easy to get bogged down in being frustrated that the price hasn't increased instead of looking at the opportunity that you have in front of you. So while we're all exercising our patience, be thinking about what are the opportunities that you really want to take advantage of now for future appreciation. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.